All right, we're live. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to this special webinar, The Art of Guilt-Free Spending. The simple and the surprisingly simple way to budget and enjoy your money. Now, hello, everyone. My name is J3 Patino, and I'll be your host and trainer for today. Now, we've just started the webinar. If you're already joining us, please let me know if you're already inside the room through the chat box. All right. Now, what will you learn in this webinar? So, if you're someone who has been struggling kung paano ba mag-manage ng pera, if nalilito ka, if you're, dapat bang ito ang bilhin, dapat ba dito mag-invest, dapat ba dito gumastos, and so on and so forth. And you're getting conflicts on whether to buy this thing or that thing, or paano ba mag-prioritize, paano ba mag-budget, then in this webinar, you're going to discover or you're going to learn a very flexible but robust way of budgeting. So, ang ibig sabihin nun is flexible in such a way na it will adapt. It's something that you can use depende kung ano yung financial situation mo, and it's something that you can it's something that survives the test of time, no? Yung ups and downs natin, hindi siya yung madaling masira na budgeting system. All right? Now, I see some people already joining us now, and if you're there, please let me know in the chat. So it should be somewhere to the right of your screen, or I don't know kung saan siya lumalabas if you're joining us through the phone. So let me know if you're here already. Let me know where you're from, or if this is the first time that you're joining us. All right. Now let us go to a few. What do you call this? A few. Hold on. Okay, I can see a few people here, about 10. So let me just read that up. Can you guys hear me? Should be. Okay. I hope everything is working well. But so let's go through the session just to make sure that what do you call this? Just to make sure that everything is in a good learning environment. No? So if you're in a room that where you can focus, that's very, very good. So this would be a good time to find a quiet place para lang you can focus on this training, because you're gonna learn so much from this. Okay, now if you need to take a bathroom break, this is the time to do it. Make sure that windows are closed para focused yung learning throughout this session. Okay, now I'm seeing some people already here. Hello Renato, hello Ange, and hello Rosaline. And Rosaline is a first time. Okay, hi Rosaline, welcome. Is this the first time that you're seeing me training live? Okay, Ange, hello, and Renato. Okay, if others are here, let me know. I see about 15 people now. Okay, so we're gonna start at exactly 10 o'clock, just to make sure na we start on time. Okay, so any problems there? Wala naman. So I'm gonna do a bit of testing lang, guys. Please let me know in the chat if you're able to see my screen. Okay, hold on. Art of Guilt-Free Spending. Oh, hello D. I see you checking in. Very good. Volume. Okay. So I'm trying out a new software din pala today. It's called the Jam Session, and it uses YouTube Live. So there should be a slightly slower delay dapat instead of the usual 30-second delay from webinars. Well, you get a much shorter delay, supposedly. So Okay, Ange. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, good. It's working. So I'm gonna the live stream. Okay, hi Nika, I see you and you're saying, "Hi, I need help on saving so hard to balance saving up and being able to spend for traveling, which is my passion." Yes, definitely we will answer that, Nika, in this training session. Now, before we begin, I'd like to give a brief introduction for those na first time pa lang ako nakikita doing training online. And if this is the first time na you're seeing me live, since most of you probably, you're receiving my emails because you downloaded the book and so on and so forth. Okay, so hello again. My name is J3 Patino, and I'm called J3 because I'm the third J in the family. So my brother's names are JC, then JM, then pangatlong J. So I became called J3. Okay, so my background is I studied in UP Diliman. I took up industrial engineering, and after graduation, I decided to become a teacher. I taught in UP in our home department, and teaching is something that I love to do, but engineering is was not. Okay, so yung engineering, it was sort of okay. I took it, but my hobbies, my interests was at a very young age. It was money management. So I remember the time na when my mom was still bringing me to school. No, I was about grade 3, grade 4, and she was managing several canteens, cafeterias. So ako yung pinagbibilang niya ng pera. So sinasabi niya, J3, arrange mo yan from yung mga 5 pesos, 10 pesos. So I would do that and I would count them. So parang dun ata na spark yung interest ko in money. So throughout the years, I've been studying money, investments, business, and now I started Pinoy Money Academy. So I was teaching, then I started Pinoy Money Academy, where I just teach people about how do you get better when it comes to money. And so today we're seeing the training that I'm going to give you is the first time ever I'm gonna teach you the art of guilt-free spending. So this is a sort of framework, a system that I've personally used, and I've learned it by reading many different books. So it's a combination of multiple techniques, and and made it into a simple, practical way on how do you manage and enjoy your money. Okay, now I'm seeing more people here. I'm seeing Stephen Mar, hello, Risa, Nika, and Jericho, hello, welcome, and welcome to this webinar. Okay, so I hope you're ready. Please let me know if you're ready to learn inside the chat box, and I will load up my presentation now. Or wait, not yet. I'm gonna wait for 3 more minutes for people to come in, if that's all right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, the I'm seeing 30 people now joining us. Hello, everyone. If this is your first time, let me know. Are you excited to learn? Ayan, Jericho is saying already he's excited to learn. Very good. Yes, definitely. So, in terms of the duration of this webinar pala, guys, so since this is the first time I'll be giving out this training, I can't really expect kung gaano siya kahaba or gaano kaikli, but a quick estimate on my end would be this would be around 1 hour and a half, including the Q&A. Okay, so that's the time span, and I expect you guys to be, let's think of this as a sort of classroom setting, not really a seminar na nandun ako sa sa podium giving a talk and presentation, nothing like that. This is going to be a very casual training. Let's call it a classroom type training na I'm gonna be sharing with you, and I'm gonna be reading your questions, your feedback, and so this is to make sure that everything that we discuss gets nag-click siya. Okay, and if you have any questions na you think, okay, how about in my case, kunwari, ito yung circumstance ko, feel free to type that in the chat box, and I'm gonna read it and we'll address it. Okay? So I'm seeing Gemwell ready, Viv ready, Ivy ready, Mayan is ready. Okay, Erica, we're ready. Gilemi is ready. DJ is ready. Jericho. Okay, great, great, great. Okay, ayan, I'm seeing more people. Hello, Mayan, for joining. Hello, Jericho. Okay, okay, may mga nagpaplano tayo ng kasal dito, so we're gonna address that. I'm very excited to share with you. So I'm gonna go away now. I'm gonna load my presentation, and let us begin. Okay. Welcome again, everyone, to the art of guilt-free spending. This is where you will learn the surprisingly simple way to budget and enjoy your money. So, ano ang mangyayari in this training? Here is the before and after. Okay? This is the situation. So, if you're someone who is confused about how to spend your money responsibly, and you get the feelings of doubt or guilt if you're spending on the right things, nag-hesitate ka, tama ba tong ginagawa ko? If you're someone na walang budget na sinusunod, or meron ngang tinatry na budget pero lagi namang over budget, lagi naman hindi na-meet, if you're someone na nakaka-experience nung roller coaster ride na parang, wow, ang dami kong pera. Then, ay, wala akong cash. Then, wow, ang dami kong pera ulit. Then, ay, wala akong pera. So, if you're experiencing this roller coaster ride, and if you find yourself lacking in or limited in the things that you want for yourself, now, if you're in that place, with this training, we're going to point B, the after. Ito yung transformation that you can expect from this training. Number one is you're going to have a flexible but robust plan for wisely spending on both your needs, wants, and life goals. And the way we do this is that you're gonna get a plan that will actually get followed. Okay? Now, the next thing is that you're going to feel confident that every peso you spend is going to move you forward in life. You're going to experience a steady growth of your savings for the future and the savings for your lifestyle goals. And finally, you're going to find abundance even if you have limited income. Okay? Now, how are we going to do this? These are the specific things that you will learn. Number one, let's answer the question first. Bakit tinawag yung training na to na why guilt-free spending? Okay? I'm sure medyo nako-curious kayo sa title na yun. Bakit guilt-free spending? Then, I'm gonna teach you the 3 rules for guilt-free spending. And those rules are spend with purpose, spend in advance, and spend freely. We're gonna go deep detail regarding each point. And the way that this training will work is that first, we're going to discuss big picture concepts, so yung framework muna, big ideas. Then, in the later steps, pupunta tayo sa nitty-gritty details, sa numbers, yung exactly what do you do, how do you manage the money, cash in, cash out, and things like that. Then, I'm gonna give you lots of examples on the art of guilt-free spending in action. So, kung paano siya ini-implement. Now, we're going to do also a lot of Q&A throughout this session. So if you have questions, just feel free to type it inside the chat box. All right? Now, also get ready to take down notes. Okay? Because you're going to learn a lot from this webinar. And, I would just want to congratulate everyone here for spending this Saturday morning learning about the art of guilt-free spending. Now, here's a quick note. There will be no replays to this webinar. So if at any time you have to leave early, you can get the replay in the general setting kasi if you were this program is going to be sold to the public for 2,997, and if as a price, for attending here live with me, you have a special link there displayed. So that's the gameofwealthonline.com/GFS-replay. You can get the replay for only 997. Okay, so this will be available throughout the webinar. Just take note of that link, and if something comes up, you have to leave. No problem. You can get the replay at that very, very discounted rate. Okay, now let's begin the training. Why guilt-free spending? So I've created multiple courses already, and one of my students there is Kevin. And si Kevin, ito yung sinend niya sa akin in an email after going through one of the courses. And ito yung sabi niya, for the past few weeks, I've had a strange feeling. Bike enthusiast kasi ako and gusto kong bumili na naman ng new bike na medyo high-end from my savings. And pag mag-decide na ako bumili, nakakaramdam ako ng guilt sa sarili ko na parang hindi yata tamang gawin yon. Minsan tuloy naiisip ko na masyado na yata akong nagiging concerned sa future ko at hindi ko na na-enjoy yung mga bagay na gusto kong gawin. This is not only about the bike, even the other things na gusto kong bilhin para sa sarili ko. Every time I have this feeling, what can you advise? Okay, now, is there anyone here na nakakaramdam din ng message ni Kevin? Okay, let me know in the chat box. Now, here is what I have learned. For the past 5 years, I've been training people on how to manage their wealth, how to invest, how to save, and so on and so forth. And nakita ko na it's a kind of balancing act between being financially responsible and enjoying your money. So, if you're someone na todo gastos before, walang financial consciousness, walang financial awareness pa, so you're mostly on the side na you're enjoying your money. Okay? Now, when people learn about how to save, how to invest, and go on, ang nangyari is, na masyado naman nangyari is nagfo-focus sila on being financially responsible na, sige, tipid dito, tipid dyan, tipid dyan, tipid dyan, and so on. And you end up being very focused on being financially responsible. Now, pareho yan. If you become too financially responsible and if you enjoy your money too much, pareho yan may dangers. If you're someone who is enjoying your money too much, okay, now here are the possible dangers. There's a risk of being unprepared for your retirement, living in poverty in your old age, and there's a possibility na malulubog ka sa utang kasi you're just enjoying money, hindi mo na pala afford. Okay, so that's the danger. But at the same time, being financially responsible also has dangers because kung tipid ka naman ng tipid, sos lahat na ng bagay hindi mo, kahit yung mga gusto mo, masyado kang focus na sa needs lang, you don't allow yourself to experience your wants and desires and your lifestyle goals, then the danger is you end up unfulfilled, unhappy, and frankly, yung hindi masayang kasama. And of course, ang focus naman ng buhay natin is that it's not about money, it's about it. There needs to be a balance. Okay? Let me know if this makes sense for you. So, let's now go to the guilt portion of the training, no? Saan ba nanggagaling ang guilt? Well, guilt is defined as an emotional experience that occurs when ang isang tao realizes that they have compromised their own standards and sila yung may kasalanan kung bakit nila na-violate yung standard na yon. Now, if someone has just recently learned financial education, saving in the stock market, investing, and so on and so forth, now, meron paminsan the financial literacy world or yung mga financial bloggers, financial websites, people spreading financial literacy. Sometimes, they set the standard too high na parang, okay, you have to save, you have to live only on 70% and save at least 20% and tithe 10%. So, merong siniset na standard. And now, people, if they're not able to meet those standards, may feeling paminsan ng guilt. Okay? Na, does that make sense to you na ito yung standard, kapag hindi mo na-meet yan, may feeling na, ay, guilty. Okay? So, if you're enjoying your money too much, if you're being financially responsible too much din naman, you're going to experience guilt. So, is guilt good or bad? Pag-usapan muna natin yan. If it's clearly wrong, like murder, corruption, deception, then of course guilt is good because it is your conscience and hopefully the guilt will help you find your way. But if you just believe na may ginawa kang mali when in fact, hindi naman siya mali, then in this case, guilt is counterproductive because you'll stop doing what is good for you. So for example, if you're someone who has been saving a lot, which is, good, and for some reason you decided to buy a thing that you really 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 want, okay, and then na feel mo naman na guilty na hala dapat sinave ko na lang yon. Okay? Now, those things are good. You're saving and you're enjoying your money. Pero for some reason, dahil something in your mind, may hindi ka na-meet na standard, then you're gonna stop doing it. So you're self-sabotaging. And of course, we want to avoid this at all costs. Okay? Next. So, how do you find the balance of managing and enjoying your money? This is an art. And this is what you will learn in this training. That's why it's called the art of guilt-free spending. You will get a game-changing perspective on budgeting and spending your money. Okay, so does that sound good? Let me know. And we're going to jump right into the 3 rules for guilt-free spending. So write these down. Ito yung big portions na pag-uusapan natin during this webinar. Number 1 will be spending with purpose. Number 2 will be spending in advance. And number 3 will be spending freely. So ano ang ibig sabihin yan exactly? That's what you're going to learn. So let's start. Rule number 1 is spend with purpose. Type it in inside the chat box, spend with purpose. Now, ano ang ibig sabihin yan? Spending with purpose is the awareness of why you're spending at any given time for any given amount. So, every time gagastos ka, this is just the awareness na, okay, you ask yourself, why did you buy? Or why did you invest for this? Or why are you saving for this? Or why are you spending for it? And let's go beyond the reason na, kasi maganda, kasi gusto ko. Try to go deeper. What purpose are you trying to achieve? Okay? Now, take note here that yung sinasabi natin na awareness, it does not mean na budgeting na, hala, ba't ko ba ginagastos so mahal-mahal? No, it's not like that. It's just awareness, yung presence of mind. Okay? Awareness does not mean budgeting na nililimit mo yung sarili mo. And awareness does not also mean and it does not entail any form of judgment. Okay? Judgment meaning, sinasabi mo na, hala, itong bagay na to hindi ko afford, so wag kong, hindi ko dapat ginawa yan. Dapat walang action related to the thinking of why are you buying, investing, saving, or spending money for it. So this has a lot to do with consciousness. Okay? Consciousness lang. Bakit? Okay, now here, I'm going to give you an exercise on awareness. And I'm going to show you a picture and think about why you would spend for that item. So I'm going to show you a series of pictures. So think of a situation kung bakit mo kaya bibilhin yung bagay na yon or bakit mong gagawin yung bagay na yon. Now, you can also explore other reasons why you would spend for it. And if it's easy for you to type in the chat box, then type your answers in the chat box. All right? Now, remember, no judging. And if you want to do this na, just thinking to yourself, bakit ko kaya bibilin yung item na yan? Ano yung situation? Okay? Why would you do that? Okay, now, wow, this is very nice. I'm looking at the numbers already in the room. We have 57 attendees here with us. Okay, so let us now go into the exercises. All right, wait lang. Okay, so this is our first item. Think about why you would buy a Louis Vuitton bag. Okay, as we know, this is a luxury item. Okay, so why would you buy it? Think about the reasons. Now, remember, no judging. No judgment on yourself, nor judgment on the bag. Huwag tayong mag-judge. And what do I mean by that? If you're thinking na, hala, Louis Vuitton, ang mahal niyan, hindi ko yan bibilin. Okay, that's judging yourself already. If you're saying na, hindi naman ako mahilig sa bag. Okay, that's judging it already. This is just the awareness. So it's an exercise. Think about why you would buy this bag. Okay, now personally, I'm gonna give an example. No, I'm a guy. This is a bag. So why would I buy it? Maybe it's because my wife wants it. So I'm gonna buy it, and so it's gonna be a gift. Okay, so yun yung purpose. Now, Mayan, because of its quality. No, let's go deeper than that. Yung reason kasi na yan is parang kasi maganda eh. So parang it's a surface reason. Let's go deeper. So this is a good answer from Jenny. So sabi niya, self-reward. Okay, that's a good backstory because you might have received a big bonus and you want to reward yourself for the effort, for the hard work that you've done. Then okay, then you get the bag. So yun yung parang deeper reason. Okay? D is saying self-esteem to be perceived as rich and refined with taste. Okay, may konting judgment dun sa answer na yan na parang it doesn't may parang hint of saying na if you're buying a Louis Vuitton bag na it feels you're insecure or you want to be perceived as a higher but the no judgment answer here actually came from Jenny, which is very good na self-reward na okay, I worked hard, I can afford it, then let's go. Now someone is giving a few answers here. So sabi ni Harvey, Jericho, and Renato. Okay, iba-ibang angles yan, no? So Harvey is saying, my mom wants it. So the purpose here, the awareness is it's to be abundant. It's to be giving of someone so that, to make someone else happy. Yun yung deeper purpose. Okay? Now, Renato is saying na, my needs, I need a bag. Okay, now, in the view of Renato, ang sinasabi niya is, okay, kailangan ko ng bag. Okay, so that's the reason why he might buy that. Okay, Ange is saying along the lines of passing it on to children. So it's going to be an abundance. Okay, so take note here na this is just one item, pero the reasons of why you're getting it, iba-iba yan per person. Okay, are you getting what we're hinting at here with the intention of with the lesson of spending with purpose? Okay, let me know. Now let's go to the next item. Okay, the next item is extra rice. Okay, so think about why you would buy or why you would order extra rice. Of course, hindi naman ganyan ka OA, no? So let's go to the next item. Why would you spend, or what do you think is the situation na mapapa-order ka ng extra rice? Okay? What do you think are the reasons? So this time I'm gonna wait for your answers there, and let's see what comes up. Why would you order extra rice? Okay, Ivan, satisfaction, masarap na ulam, rice for satisfaction. Kasi gutom pa ako, may extra rice din ulam. Okay, to satisfy my hunger. So, I'm seeing two angles here. Rice for satisfaction and rice to satisfy my hunger. So, Marilyn is saying to satisfy my hunger. Now, if it's satisfying your hunger, that means na it's sort of a need talaga. Kasi, okay, gutom ka, and you're gonna buy the extra rice. Now, satisfaction, it could be, I'm just painting a story here, no? So, satisfaction, it could be, ang sarap ng ulam, ang sarap ng kwentuhan, ang sarap ng kasama, meron pang coke. So, sige, why not? Mahaba ang usapan, order pa tayo extra rice. Now, I'm gonna give a certain angle again on why you're doing this. So, Risa hinted it already. Super gutom at pagod, kailangan kumain. Okay, now, maybe you're someone na involved physical work, may nakakapagod talaga na activity, and so you're exhausted, you're tired. So, bakit ka mag-order ng extra rice on top of your meal? So, it's there. Yun yung reason. You might have come from a sports event or sports competition. So, sobrang pagod. Sige, game, extra rice. Okay? So, take note na, again, it's the same item, pero yung reasons, it's all different on why. Now, sometimes kasi, the reason we're doing this exercise is that sometimes nakakalimutan natin ano ba yung purpose. Masyado ng natural yung pag-spend ng pera. Nakakalimutan yung purpose. So, we're gonna do a few more exercises of that. Next. Okay? I think this will be quicker now that you're getting it. Okay, what are the reasons you would be buying running shoes? Okay. So, running shoes, what are the reasons? So, obviously, this is something na, okay, number one, it's gonna be a need for some people na, let's say, totally walang shoes. Okay, you're someone na wala pang running shoes and you're gonna buy it because you want to get into exercising. Okay, so yung purpose, it's not just because kasi kailangan ko ng sapatos, but the purpose is kailangan kong ayan, someone mentioned it here. Ange is investing in my health. Okay, so that's a very good reason. Okay, so I'm sorry, I don't mean a very good reason, but it's a very good answer because it goes deeper. Na you're not just looking at the shoes, you're looking at your health. Okay, so yun yung purpose. Now, Erica gave the answer na sira na kasi yung sapatos ko. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? That is hinting toward more of a need. Nasira yung current, so I need to replace it. Okay, so that's a need. And take note, iba yung angle niyan from those na achieving to earn a specific health lifestyle. Okay? Now, with that, let's go to the next item. Very good, guys, on the responses. Meralco, why would you spend on this? Okay, I think this is going to be very, very easy. Actually, no, this is actually a kumbaga one angle lang naman to eh. Because if you don't pay, well, wala kang kuryente. And this is direct need already. So I'm just gonna skip that, no? Let's go here. Flights to Japan. What could be the backstory of why you would be buying this? Okay? Let's go. What took you so long? I just as a tidbit, no, na nakakatuwa talaga yung mga advertisements ng Cebu Pacific, and it's really funny. Smart. Okay, so let's go. What would be the reasons? Okay, dream travel. All right, I'm seeing here from Claire, dream travel. From Rhea, dream vacation, expensive motivation. Okay, comfort. Okay, so again, there are multiple backstories here. It's possible, I'm just gonna introduce a few more no, na hindi na-mention. If this is gonna be your first time traveling to Japan, so you're very excited and, piece of air, game, this is a great opportunity. Okay, so that's wonderful. Now, it could be a person's third time to visit Japan. Bakit kaya? Invento lang tayo ng kwento. Maybe he's visiting his family there. Okay, so it's not really the purpose of vacation, but it's more of a social gathering. Okay, now it's also possible. Now, very good na mention to ni Erica, work-life balance. Kailangan mag-unwind. So I was talking to a friend a few nights ago, and she was visiting here in SG. So ang kwento niya kung bakit siya nandito, nag-vacation, kasi super stressed out na siya sa work. Something didn't work out in the office, and sobrang bad trip nung nangyari. So that's why, sige, bahala na. Let's go on vacation. Okay? So it could be along that kind of reasoning. Now, Mayan is telling us something very interesting here. Sabi niya, to discover a different culture. So it might be a bit academic, no? Yung sense of discovery. It's part of traveling. It might be to study, so it might be a need. Mag-distress from workload. Yes, Crystal, exactly. So I'm giving you lots of different items just to see, just to open up na, okay, it could be the same item pero maraming iba't ibang pwedeng purposes. Okay? Now, I'm gonna continue with this exercise. Let me know if masyado bang maraming exercises or you want to move on to the next topic. Let me know. So this next item, it's a donation receipt to Typhoon Haiyan. Okay, to Caritas. So what are the reasons on why you think you would be spending on this? Okay? So, donation, this is mostly along the lines of nasa abundance and helping others. Now, I'm going to introduce something na might be a bit different reason on why you would spend, no? Let's say na you're in a situation na everyone you know in your group donated. Okay? Everyone nagbigay. Now, all of a sudden, alam ng mga tao na hindi ka pa nagbibigay. Okay? I'm just making up this situation. Oh. Let's say, for example, everyone helped out, pero, this person, hindi pa siya nagbibigay. So, the reason for giving would be not necessarily to help, not necessarily as charity, pero it could be the social pressure na, hala, lahat sila tumutulong. Okay, ako rin, sige, magdo-donate. Okay? So, what do you think about that situation? It's also a possibility. Okay? Miko, okay, it could be a sense of pity. Okay? It's an interesting answer, no? It could be the sense na not necessarily to help others, but a sense of pity na, let's say, you've achieved so much in life, kunwari. You feel your blessing, kunwari. And, na-overwhelm ka. And you have this feeling na, I don't deserve this. Okay, I'm gonna help. Okay? So, yung original intention was not really to help, but it was more of to relieve na, okay, I've earned a lot already and I feel na I need to help. Okay? Now, very interesting answer to Gemwell. Sabi niya dito, to find your soulmate. Okay? I'm not sure, Gemwell, if you're talking about the Caritas, the Caritas donation. No? But let's look at that angle for spending money or for donating. Let's say, yung crush mo works in Caritas. And this person is someone na asking for donations. And gusto mong i-impress yung tao na to. Okay? So, how do you get their attention? You donate a big amount. Okay? So, very nice answer there, Gemwell. It's a different angle totally. Na, okay, you want to get the attention of the girl or the person, so you donate a big amount so that this person will think na you're very generous and somehow get attracted. Okay? So, you can see, no, donation na turn natin into selfless reasons and, well, let's not call it selfish, no, but, for personal reasons. And it's just one thing. So, I hope na nakikita niyo yung sort of difference in awareness on how you're spending. So, let's go here. Next item. The next item is John Maxwell's The 21 Laws of Leadership. Okay, what could be the reasons that you're going through this? Okay? What could be the reasons why you would be buying that book? Right, so Laws of Leadership. This is actually a very recommended book. I read it way back na to this day I still refer to it, no. Okay, self-improvement, Jenny is saying, D is saying to improve oneself for personal development. Let's go deeper. Why would you want to improve yourself specifically in the laws of leadership? So everyone is so the kumbaga, the easy answer here is saying na, okay, self-improvement, growth, etc., etc. But why? Ano yung deeper reason? Is there a specific situation na nangyari sa office kung bakit, you wanted to read this? Or maybe it could have come from a recommendation of a boss na, let's say, nakatanggap ka ng evaluation at work na saying, you're performing well, pero yung rating sa'yo ng mga employees mo mababa. Okay, you need to step up your leadership game. Okay, so it could be that kind of specific focus. Now, balik natin. Okay, Mayan is saying, I want to lead my own team someday. Okay, so whether that could be a business reason, your own business. Okay, ayan, minention ni Ange, diretso, scale my business by leading employees effectively. Okay, so it's a whole different angle from it's another different angle. Okay, so yan yung what do you call this? So the initial answers was okay, growth, personal improvement, and so on and so forth. But if again you look deeper, you see the purpose. You're not buying this book. You're not just buying this book. You want a business at the end of it. Okay? So yun yung deeper goal. Okay? Now, it could be somewhere na you could just be bored. Okay? Let's say na may flight sa airport na delay ng 3 oras. So dumaan ka sa bookstore. Ano kayang magandang libro dito? Okay, sige, ito na lang. Buy it. Okay? So you could have bought this book out of boredom. Pwede rin yun, di ba? So, different angles, the same thing. Now, let's end this example. Again, good job, guys. Very wonderful answers kasi nakikita talaga yung difference ng mga ng purposes of why you could buy it. So, let's go to the last example, and this one is a bit spicy. Okay. Let's go. Why would you buy something like this? Na maybe for yourself or for someone. Okay, La Senza lingerie. Okay. So meron pa talagang white rabbit na may kind of smirk. Okay, so why would you buy something like this? And again, this is, what do you call this? This is, remember na no judgment tayo. Okay? Na if you're feeling na, hala, ang masyado naman sexy, no judgment there. Okay? So, what are the reasons? I'm gonna give a few na possible. Okay. So, D is saying, for one's honeymoon, to please one's husband. Okay? That's nice. Okay? So, the motivation is not really to be sexual, sensual in that sense, but the deeper purpose is to pleasing someone. Okay? Jan is saying, a gift for my girlfriend. Okay? Pwede yan. Marilyn, to save the relationship. So, I like that because it gives you a deeper story, a deeper backstory. All right? So, ano yan? Sabi niya is, where is that? To save the relationship. Okay? So, it might be a gift na I'm sorry, or there's a story there kung bakit kailangan i-save yung relationship. Okay? Miko is saying exploration, grin. Okay, we all know what you mean. Okay? So, now, it could be, I'm just thinking of another example here, no? Something, okay, Risa is saying, spice things up, but women buy these for themselves to make themselves feel good. Okay? So, it could be not necessarily for the boyfriend or for the husband, but for yourself, to feel sexy, to feel wanted, to feel desired. Okay? It could be a gift for yourself, not necessarily for the husband. Okay? Now, another thing could be, it could be a bridesmaid's present. Okay? So, your friend is ikakasal na, and ano kayang okay na regalo? So, it could be for fun, plainly. Okay? So, ito yung bibigay na gifts for the bride to be. All right? So, again, guys, very good answers. And I hope na nakita niyo yung yung sort of different stories, different flavors on why you would buy something. Now, let's go to the next part. So, rule number 1, let's bring it back now. Rule number 1 is spending with purpose. This is the awareness of why you're spending at any given time for any given amount. Different people in different circumstances will have many different reasons to spend. Now, the goal is to understand yours. Ano yung motivation mo specifically on why you're going to spend, invest, save for that specific item. Okay? Now, this comes at a big warning. Kasi in today's world, every business makes you want to need their product or service. Okay? In today's advertisements, yung marketing, you know, now it's hard to imagine life without smartphones. Now it's a need to travel to other countries. Okay? Yan yung culture. If you go on Facebook, you know, wow, everyone is traveling, everyone is going here, everyone is going to Europe, Japan, Greece, you know, different parts of the world. And so there's a culture of you have to do everything, you have to spend on everything. Okay? Now, here in Singapore, just to share, no, meron kasing tinatawag na 5 C's that for you to be very accomplished, they have this 5 C's. You need to have a lot of cash, you need to get a credit card, you need to buy a condominium, you need to own a car, and you need to have a country club membership. And that's just sort of the culture na direction, yan yung default. Okay? And the consciousness, the awareness needs to be brought back. Na, teka lang, ano ba yung reason kung ba't ko binibili to? Okay? Is it just because na meron lang todong hype? Again, no judgment here na it's not saying na, you know, the purpose is magtipid or the purpose is for this specific reason. No judgment. Just be aware na, okay, why? What's the deeper reason on why I'm buying this? Because, again, the world, everything marketing na. So, I'm gonna share with you now the 7 functions of money. And sa mga binigay natin na examples kanina with the answers you gave, these are sort of the 7 categories, 7 purposes of spending. Okay? Let's start. Number 1 is to survive. We spend to survive. This is the money we survive and live on to live on a basic day-to-day basis. So, nandiyan ang basic food, basic shelter, transport, utilities, tuition fees, and you know these. I don't think I need to explain this. And you know, some people would argue na yung image dyan to the right is the Maslow's hierarchy of needs na physiological health, ganyan. Pero in today's world, sinasabi ng mga tao na, okay, need na rin ang Wi-Fi and battery. Okay, so that's just a joke on the side. So when we say survival, you know, living on a day-to-day basis. And it's up to you if you want to categorize Wi-Fi and battery along with that or your morning coffee with that. It's up to you. So I'm just putting it out there na, okay, survival, basic needs. Now, the next function of money is comfort. This is the money we spend to feel good or avoid discomfort or pain over the short term. So, it could be that luxury bag, it could be that latest gadget, it could be an inuman session after work. Each person will be very different on how they relieve comfort. Because when we are unhappy or uncomfortable, there is a, you know, pagka may stress na ganon, there is a natural tendency to spend to relieve the discomfort. Now, personally, when I am stressed, I eat. Okay? There's a bread shop near here na nagbebenta ng chocolate almond bread. And I love that bread. You know? So if I had a stressful morning, I would be usually buying that bread. And, you know, it's a cause for unwanted pounds, syempre. So everyone is different. Now, bringing this back to the sense of awareness, just to share a personal anecdote on this. Every morning kasi pagka pumupunta na ako dun sa shop na yon, it's become a habit. Okay? So, it's become a habit and sometimes I forget na, okay, bakit ko nga ba siya binili originally in the first place? Okay, I buy it to if I had a stressful day. But honestly, there were some days na, okay, hindi naman stressful yung day, but I just bought it out of habit. So, yun yung walang awareness. Nawala yung awareness on why I bought that thing. Okay? So, that's what we want to bring back here. Okay, let's now go to the third type of function of money. The third is personal milestones. And this is the money we spend to achieve our life goals. And the deeper purpose is that it gives you long-term fulfillment. So this could be your first wedding, your first car, your first home, traveling, doing vacation. This could be your sport or your hobby and your passion. And a good sign that this is for a personal milestone spend is that you can't stop talking about it because spending on it and having it makes you feel proud of yourself and fulfilled. Okay? And take note of the word here, long term. So, anong difference ng comfort sa personal milestones? Well, number one, comfort is short term. It makes you feel good short term. Personal milestones, it gives you the happiness over the long term. All right? So, we distinguish between those. Now, the fourth type of spending is to have a sense of security and peace of mind. Okay, that's the fourth type of spending. So this is the money that we set aside for emergency saving funds and for insurance or healthcare or for retirement funds or for investments or money that's just there. You know, para lang makatulog ka na, okay, I'll be good for tomorrow. Okay, I'll be good in the future. Okay, so that is security. The fifth type, we also tackled this in our examples kanina. Number 5 is personal growth. Okay, growth. This is the money we spend in order to have and create a better future for ourselves. This could be skill development, career development, business and personal development. This could be your business startup capital. This could be buying books, seminars, workshops, coaching programs, or this could be a lunch out with a mentor. Okay, so the goal is to create a better future for yourself. So that's what growth is. Number 6 is abundance. And this is to help others. Okay? This is the money we give away to help others, not really expecting anything in return. These are your tithes, these are your charities, and this is faith funding. Now, for those who aren't familiar, faith funding is basically helping the people na faith put in your life and you help them. So let's say na you have a friend and kailangan niya ng sabihin natin may yung mom niya na hospitalized and the medical bill is so and so much and they're asking for help. So that's faith funding. It's not necessarily charity na you give to institutions, but faith placed you na you are friends with this person and by that you're going to help them. Okay, so that's what faith funding is, and it falls under here, abundance. Now, the last type of spending is anything actually that doesn't belong to the 6 categories above. Fluff. This is unintentional spending with no real purpose. So, binili mo siya dahil binili mo siya. Wala nang deeper purpose. I wasn't thinking kasi everyone else has it. It was on sale. And, bad decisions, they fall onto these. Now, the picture beside it are 2 very cute, fluffy puppies for the reason na, it would be hard to find someone na gusto nitong yung na makakahindi sa puppies. Okay? Unless you're a cat person, of course. But it would be hard to find someone na, ay, ang cute, ayoko niyan. There's no one who would say that. So, that's what fluff is. Na nahuhuli ka in the moment, hindi mo nahuli, okay, why am I spending for this? Why am I doing this? All right? So, that's what fluff is. And, of course, we have to minimize the fluff. So, this is what spending with purpose means. And that's why I gave you the 7 functions of money. So, meron tayong overlaps, don't worry about it. The goal here is to get clear on your why. Every time you spend, no amount, and again, the reason here is not to limit yourself, but just be aware. Why are you spending? Is this something for survival? Is this something for your comfort? Is this something for your personal milestone? Is this something for your security? Is this something for growth? Is this something for abundance? Or is it just fluff? Okay? So yan ngayon yung sort of framework on spending with purpose. And the main goal is to get clear on your why. All right? So let's go into a Q&A. Let me know if you have any questions so far on the 7 functions. I'm also going to take a water, drink water. So to relieve my throat muna. Okay, so I am going back to live, turn screen. Okay, so guys, let me know if you have any questions so far on the seven functions. Okay, I'm seeing a question here from Mark. Is hobby included in fluff? Okay, Mark, that's totally dependent on person to person. No? But if your hobby gives you fulfillment, I would put it in personal milestones. Okay? If it's a hobby na gives you long-term fulfillment, then yeah, it's personal milestones. But if you do the hobby and fleeting lang yung happiness na nabibigay niya sa'yo, then that's just comfort. Okay? So, for example, I would just like to give an example, no? I could say that my hobby is playing video games. Right now, one of the video games I'm playing is Final Fantasy 14. And whenever I play it, it's just to relieve stress. Okay? So it's just a comfort thing. But there are some people who play the game na because they want to, they've sort of built a community around it. Medyo intense yung pagsunod nila dun sa game na yun. Now for them, it's a personal milestone. It's already an achievement. It gives them long-term satisfaction. Okay? So that's the difference. Okay, so it's up to you kung ano ang nabibigay sa iyo nung hobby. All right? So let me know if nasagot ba yung question mo. And again, the reason why we're doing this is that to bring back the awareness on why we're spending in things. Okay, if there are no other questions, I'm going to continue with the presentation then. So thank you for asking that question, Mark. Babalik natin sa slide presentation. Now, this is where you're going to get transformation from this exercise. I'm going to ask this, no? You don't have to do this now, but it's something na recommended you do after the training. So this is what you do. For the past year, how much have you been spending in each function? And take note, estimates, they are fine. Okay. Where do you feel have you been spending too much or too little? Why do you think you spent that much or that little? Number 3 is, what would you like to change? All right. So, I suggest you write this exercise down kasi this is how you get the transformation. Pagka makita mo na ngayon na, okay, for the past 12 months, I've been spending, let's say, 80% on survival, 3% on, or sabihin natin, 50% on survival, 20% on comfort, 10% on milestones, 10% on security, 10% on growth. Try to get an estimate on those. Magkano na yung ginagastos mo on those? How have you been spending? And again, there's no recommended na percentages, but just think about it. Okay, why did you spend 20% on comfort in the first place? Ano ba yung stress na nararamdaman mo in your life? Why is that? Why is there a need na ganun kataas yung sa comfort? Or is there a area na too little naman yung nagastos mo, na maybe it's time to notice na You know what? I've actually, wala pa akong sinispend for security. Or actually, wala pa akong sinispend for growth. Bakit kaya? Okay? Think about that. And, this will be different for different people in different phases in life. And the answer that you have to get into is, okay, given that you now know this, what would you like to change? All right? So, I hope you wrote this exercise down kasi it's going to really give you an insight kung what's going on in your life. Not just going beyond the money, no? Na if you find yourself na, okay, but nga ba na ang dami kong spending on comfort pero wala pala akong sinispend in my personal milestones. Okay? So things like that could come up. Or you could discover na you're denying yourself or you're saving too much, and it's a gut feel, no? So the point is to spend intentionally. Na kung ano yung gusto mong targets for each fund, you go and try that. Okay. So let me give you an example no, on how the budgets broke down. Kasi iba-iba yan per person. So, sharing from my personal experience, when I was still 22, 23 years old, I was single but attached. I worked as a teacher in UP Diliman and I was earning 18,000 pesos a month. My salary was paid out every week about 4,500 pesos. Okay, this was way back 2000, 2000 to 2012. Now, my biggest problem then was the lack of income. 18,000 pesos, I knew na medyo, it would not be enough to raise a family, to start a family. It would be not enough to pursue a comfortable lifestyle in the future. So, how did I think about my priorities? So for survival, I spent the bare minimum. I understood na, okay, nandito ako sa sitwasyon na my problem is the lack of income. So my biggest priority should be growth. Okay? So in terms of survival, I spent the bare minimum. I would eat turon for lunch, 20 pesos, dalawang turon, 40 pesos. It would last me through the whole day. And of course, kapag nakakapagod din magturo, ayan, mapapa-extra rice ako. But that sort of thing. Now, comfort, it was really just for the dates. Comfort spending for myself, I didn't spend any. Personal milestones, zero. Now, my batchmates who were working in corporate, working in multinationals, they were earning 40 to 50,000 pesos each month at that time. Now, they were traveling, they were, buying new stuff and so on and so forth. And in my situation, I understood na, teka lang, my biggest problem was the lack of income. Personally naman, I feel na hindi ko naman kailangan ng milestones at this point. I'm just out to get them. Bata pa naman ako. And in terms of security, I didn't need it yet. Kaya zero spend on that. But my biggest problem was my lack of income. So every excess peso that I had went into growth. It went into online courses. It went into reading books. It went into attending seminars so that I could start up my business and grow my income. So, gets ba na yan yung situation that I was in. So, intentionally, you spend with awareness. Kung ano yung kailangan mo, then, okay, you spend there. Alright? Now, when we got married, my wife and I, we wanted to enjoy our lives first without kids. So, how did it shift? Paano nag-shift yung budget? Well, in terms of survival, we spent a comfortable amount in there. And the big priority now was comfort and personal milestones. Okay? Now, we set out some funds for security, some funds for growth, some funds for abundance, and, some funds for fluff. Okay? Well, not really a fluff, but, fluff just happens. Pero in terms of consciousness, the awareness, medyo bumaba siya. But the focus there was spending on comfort and personal milestones. So we have a nice home, a comfortable home. We planned and went for our honeymoon in Europe, and things like that. No, it gives you a sense of fulfillment, and that's what we wanted to do at that time in our lives. So yun yung focus ng spending. All right. So kita mo na it doesn't have to be fixed. It adapts to your specific situation. Now, today, my wife and I were planning and preparing to grow our family. So, magdadagdag ng +1. So, I hope you can also pray for us as we do this. The shift happens again. So, survival, reduced, comfort, yes, some. Personal milestones, yes, some. But the priority now is security, securing the future for our future children. Okay, so we're now preparing to grow our family. So every excess we have, it's now going into say into the baby fund. It's going to healthcare. It's going to it's going to future tuition. Nandun na ngayon yung mindset. Okay, so wherever you are in life, you have to sort of get a feeling, decide, okay, among these 7 functions, nasan dyan dapat ang priority ko. Alright? Now, this is a common question. J3, do you recommend an ideal percentage breakdown on how much to spend? The big answer there is no. You should be spending on your specific life goals today for the short term and for the long term. Ikaw ang magsiset niyan. Now, some books, they recommend na 50, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay? If you read a few books, they would say spend 50 on 50% on survival, 10% on ganyan, 10% on the rest. Some books would say na yung 70, 20, 10, The Abundance Formula by Brother Bo, na you live on 70, you save and invest 20, and you tithe away 10%. Now, my take on that is no. Don't follow ideal percentage breakdowns kasi iba-iba tayo ng situation eh. You know, iba-iba tayo ng level of incomes, iba-iba tayo ng priorities, iba-iba tayo ng gusto sa buhay and kailangan sa buhay. And you have to decide specifically for your situation what should be your focus on. Paano mo i-breakdown yan? Okay? So, I hope that was helpful. So, again, this is your transformation. This is where your transformation will come from when you do this exercise. For the past, how much have you been spending in each function? Just an estimate. It's okay. And where do you feel, have you been spending too much or too little? So I hope you're writing this down right now in a notebook. Actually, it's an order. So write this down in your notebook. If you're taking down notes now, write these 3 questions down. Where do you feel, have you been spending too much or too little? Why do you think you spent that much or that little in a specific function? And what would you like to change? So it's time to get clear on your goals. Now, there are absolutely no answers here except not having one. Okay? Walang maling breakdown. Ang mali lang is if you're not aware of where your money is going. All right? So, I'm going to give you 3 quick reality checks. Okay? These might be tough to hear but for some people, but it needs to be said. Number 1, many people don't know their deepest and truest goals. That's why they spend on fluff. Okay? If you don't have that awareness on what you want, then naturally, yung mga advertisements, yung mga you'll just be following trends, you'll just be following na, kasi ginawa nila, so sige ako rin. Okay? So if you don't know your deepest, truest goals, you'll end up spending many things on fluff. Now, number 2, reality check. The lower your income and the tighter your cash flow, the more spending awareness you need. Okay? So, if you're someone who's earning na it's very tight na you know na okay, talagang sakto lang yung kinikita ko, then if you feel that way, the more awareness you really have to need in this. Now, as your budget grows more flexible, no? As your income grows more flexible, then of course, you can spend less awareness on these things. And general feels na lang, mas big picture yung approach mo, mas hands off. But you know, if you have a very tight cash flow and budget, then you really need awareness. 5 years ago, I was at that place and kaya very focused ako noon na, okay, ang gagastusin ko lang was bare minimum for my needs, pang date, and everything else goes to excess funds. Goes to growth funds. Okay? Now, If you are someone who is unhappy with your income, you need to focus on growth. This is my strong recommendation. Whatever you can afford, whatever percentage that is, you need to be spending on growth. Because you know what? It's not gonna happen na magically maayos lang yung budget problems. It's not magically gonna happen na mapopromote ka or makakahanap ka ng magandang trabaho or bigla na lang tataas yung income or mananalo ka ng loto. It won't happen. You need to focus on growth so that you can deliver more value to the world and increase your market value to the world. Okay, so develop skills and focus on growth. All right. So, do you have any questions on spending with purpose or the 7 functions of money? So, let me know in the chat box. It's important that we get these 7 functions very, very clear kasi yung next na pag-uusapan natin is actual implementation. So, it's important that you have the foundation. And so, I'll be taking a short 5-minute break just to rest my voice a bit and get a bit of water. You can do the same. I'm gonna come back at 11:05. I'm gonna come back within 1 minute actually. I'm just gonna get a glass of water, but you can type in your questions, and we'll begin the next part at exactly 11:05. Right? I'm just gonna leave this here. That if ever you have to go download the replay, you can get the replay at gameofwealthonline.com/gfs-replay. I give you a few bonuses already also when you get the replay. So I'll see you back at 11:05. I'll wait for your questions if you have them here. I'm just going to get more water. Okay. All right. Refresh. Oops, I left the door open. Excuse me. All right, I see your comment here, Risa. Great job so far. Thank you, thank you. I hope that you're learning a lot. So, game feels good to teach live and with interaction. No? Okay, where is that? Okay, so guys, are you good with the questions? So we're about halfway. Grabe no for first thing na I mean, nasa first lesson pala, 1 hour. Didn't imagine that. Okay, so my estimate is that 11:45 will probably cover the second part, then mabilis na lang yung last. So by 12 we should be done. I expect na ganun ng progression natin. So I'm happy, Ivan, that you're learning this. So we're gonna start exactly at 11:05. So ayoko naman magsimula early kasi baka meron nga naman nag-take ng break and naiwan sila. Right. So I'm gonna read back a few of the comments here. So Jan was asking what was the number 3. Okay, then May-Ann answered. Okay, thanks for doing that, May-Ann. So number 3, yes, it's personal milestones. Good job. High five tayo. Okay. So if you have any questions, clarifications, no, but if everything is clear so far, then great. That's very, very good to know. But if you have any questions, the back of your mind, feel free to type it in now. Mhm. Just to share with the people listening here, no, I'm thinking about the situation na, because in terms of values, one of the things that prompted me to study at yung art of guilt-free spending and develop it was during the time na nagde-date pa lang kami nung wife ko, and she was looking for a new phone. And at that time, I was still learning I was in this mindset na, okay, you have to save for your future, invest, invest, invest. Ganun yung mindset ko noon eh. And so, kasama ko siya, she was looking for a new phone. And she wanted to buy an iPhone. And, uh, you know, during the time na magkasama kami, I kept saying na, para saan ba yan? Ano bang functions ang hinahanap mo? So I was thinking about function, function, function. And uh, parang kailangan ba? Gagamitin mo ba yung feature na yan? And yung mindset ko talaga at that time was, okay, tipid, 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 tipid. And so, as we were canvassing iPhones in the mall, so nakita ko na lang, kasama ko siya, naluluha na siya. And I did that because I made her feel na uh, I made her feel na parang yung na-devalue na don't I limited her space. And that's when I understood na yes, people have different needs, and it's a real thing na my focus, yes, it was on growth, but her focus in terms of at that time in her life, it was different. The security, it was more on the comfort, and it was a personal reward for the hard work that she was doing in her company. So that sort of thing, and I denied her of that. Kaya syempre I made her cry on that day. So it was a huge learning point for me. And when those things happen, maintindihan mo rin na money, it's very different for very different people, and it's important that you understand. Yes, number one, you understand your needs, you understand your priorities, but you also understand the priorities of your partners in life. Okay, the significant people in your life. Ano yung dun sa 7 functions of money na yon? Or well, actually just 6 because we minimize fluff. Ano sa kanila dun yung priority. Okay? And it gives you an understanding kung paano ba mag-manage ng pera. Alright? It's 11:07. Napahaba ang aking kwento. So, let's get back into the training. Okay, I will go back and load the application. Okay, now, let's go to part 2. I want you to think about this situation or this statement. All money will eventually be spent sometime, somewhere by someone. Ang pera ay ginagastos. Lahat ng pera ay eventually ginagastos. Now, this brings us to rule number 2. Spend in advance. And this is about planning and allocating for current and future spending, planned or unplanned, for the short term and the long term. Now, think about this. Saving is essentially setting aside money so you can spend in the future. Investing is so that you can afford to spend more in the future. Growing your passive income through business or other activities is so that you can keep spending without being limited by your number of working hours. Life insurance payments are so that your beneficiaries can spend even when you're no longer in this world. So, lahat ng ginagawa natin sa pera, eventually, it's going to be spent. Okay? So, think about that. That's why this training is not called the art of guilt-free saving. It's about spending kasi ang pera, purpose niyan, gastusin. Okay? Now, rule number 2 is that since ang pera naman ay ginagastos eventually at some point by someone somewhere in time, then we plan and allocate for it. Okay? We are active in allocating for it. So, how do you do that? There are 3 steps for spending in advance. Number 1 is deciding on your buckets, and write these down if you're taking down notes. Number 1, decide on your buckets. Number 2, compute your excess cash flow. I'll teach you more about that later. And number 3, you just allocate and track. So let's get into number 1. Decide on your buckets. This goes back to the purpose number 1, which is spending awareness. So given your current financial situation, goals, aspirations, and your direction in life, which area do you need to prioritize? Okay? So in your specific situation, what do you need to prioritize? Is it comfort, personal milestones, security, growth, or abundance? Now you can have different names for these buckets. It could be a wedding fund, a baby fund, your dream house, your migration fund, your job abroad fund, your coming back for home for good fund, your business fund. You can name it anything, but you identify your buckets. So that's step number 1. And here, just be reminded of keeping the main thing, the main thing, the main thing. Okay, so there's a saying from the late Stephen Covey, from his book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. Same thing goes for our money. What's your main thing? Okay, keep it the main thing. All right, so that's the buckets. Now, in doing this, take note that your mindset really, really matters. You can approach this with a poverty mindset, wherein ang approach is, okay, I have to choose this goal or that goal. You're choosing either or. And you're thinking, okay, I live below my means so that I can afford to get this goal. And sometimes, the poverty mindset, it makes you think na, okay, hindi na ako magsiset ng goals because I know deep down I can't achieve them. Okay? So that's the poverty mindset. If as you're deciding your buckets, you're thinking na in this line, stop yourself and choose to think in the abundance mindset and have these beliefs. Number 1, I choose which one to achieve now, then focus on the other one later. You're choosing both. You're not choosing either or, you're choosing both. Pinipili mo lang kung ano yung uunahin mo today in this moment. Okay? The second way you use the abundance mindset is that you increase your means. You work on ways to increase your means. I'll increase your means so that eventually I can, so that I'll achieve both faster. And you're happy to set goals because you know that goals keep you focused and motivated. That's why you set them. So as you're deciding on your buckets, take note of your mindset. If it's leaning a bit towards the poverty mindset, then shift. Let's make the shift to think in abundance. All right? Step number 2 is to compute your excess cash flow. Excess cash flow is the money you can allocate to your goals. So how do you compute that? Here is the formula. Income minus your survival expenses equals your excess cash flow. Okay? Now take note, excess cash flow does not mean income minus survival minus comfort equals excess cash flow. Okay? So let's be particular about those things. All right? So here is let me now describe kung paano kinocompute yan exactly. So I'm sure everyone here knows how to make a basic budget, no? So basic budget is that first line, you write your monthly income plus whatever bonuses. Then after that, you break down your monthly expenses and just take note of the survival expenses. Everything else, that falls under your excess cash flow. Now, excess cash flow, I describe this as your potential for your goals. The more excess cash flow you have, the more potential you have to put into your goals. Now, here's a common oversight on when people compute for excess cash flow. Number 1 is to remember to factor in the annual yearly expenses. Madalas kasi, tayo kapag gumagawa tayo ng budget, month to month lang ang iniisip. But you forget about birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, car registration, your mortgage payments na kapag paminsan semi-annual or annual, tax payments, annual subscriptions, tuition fees, health checkups, and maintenance, and things like that. So, paminsan, the budget that we set initially or we compute is masyadong mababa yung na-factor in for survival and the basic expenses. All right? So, remember to do this, to factor in. Kasi, birthdays happen every year. Holidays happen every year. Father's Day, Mother's Day, feast day, celebrations. If it happens every year, then it should be in your budget. Break it down into monthly. So, as you notice now, our examples are shifting from a big picture to very specific na, no? Now, for those who have set up a comfortable income for yourself, and if you have a comfortable lifestyle already, you can include the following in your general survival expenses. So, you can include your travel, celebration parties, nights out, beauty sessions, sports, or any hobbies. So, kapag medyo basic expense naman sila, then okay lang masamahan na ng a few comfort items in your computation for excess cash flow. But if you're someone na that is lacking in income, then stick to survival expenses. Yun ang excess cash flow mo. Alright? So I hope that's clear. Now, I'm going to teach you now the 3-day fire drill challenge. And this is for people who would like to uncover fluff spending from whatever you're doing now. Okay? Because fluff spending, this is a thing na it's preventing us from reaching our goals faster. So, if you cut out your fluff spending, you'll be able to achieve your goals faster with more clarity and definitiveness. So, the 3-day fire drill challenge will help you know your baseline survival spending, and it's gonna help you be happier, grateful, and appreciative of what you have. And it's an opportunity really to make saving fun and discover new things about yourself. So, what is the 3-day fire drill challenge? Here's the goal. Go for 3 days as if, kunwari lang, you were running out of money fast. How would you survive? Okay? So, that's the challenge. You can choose the specifics of the challenge na, kunwari talaga nangyari siya na you have no source of income, you're living on X amount of pesos only, what would you do? Tipid everything ba? No internet, no eat out, no TV, no Netflix, no taxis, no Uber, no yayas, no drivers, no maids, bring baon, puro home cooked meals. What would you eat? How would you live day to day? And try to do it for 3 consecutive days. Now, you can choose how to do it, but what that is going to show to you, yun nga, is ano ba talaga yung survival spending ko? What can I live without? Okay? Now, the reason why we do this for only 3 days is because masyadong mahaba kung 30 days eh. Okay? Masyadong mahaba ang 7, 5, but it's up to you. I suggest you just start with 3 days to think about how you would survive. And this will reveal a lot of fluff spending. Now, it doesn't mean naman na whatever you discover during this challenge is you'll implement it. No. It's just to discover na, okay, just to be aware pala na, okay, this is where you're at. Na this, sabihin natin na, okay, this is your fire drill spending and this is your current spending. Now, it's up to you if you want to continue some items na may na-discover ka na, okay, pwede na pala natin itong hindi gawin to create more excess cash flow. And it's up to you na, okay, back to normal. Okay? So, it's totally up to you how you would do the challenge, pero yun ang big benefit of doing it. So, how do you sell it to your spouse? Or how do you sell it to other family members? This is how you do it. For your spouse, I think you'll be able to convince her na this is for preparing for our future goals. Now, if you have young kids, then you can pretend na it's a zombie apocalypse or making something fun or creative that way. Na, okay, let's do a 3-day fire drill challenge. Mag-camping tayo sa living room or, labas muna yung DVD box instead of going out into the mall, rented DVD, yan ang ano natin. Things like that. And here's an important thing to note, no? If you want to try this thing, let them choose the start and end date. Okay? Let your, wag mong i-impose na, okay, this Friday to Saturday, fire drill challenge tayo. No, you'll get met with a lot of resistance. Talk to them about the challenges, the fire drill challenge, and then tell them the benefits and when would you like to implement it? Okay, so that you can prepare for it. Okay, so let me know in the chat box if this is something na you would like to try out, and I would just like to benefits of this fire drill challenge was that it saved me when I was still fresh, when I was still a fresh grad. So here's the story. I just graduated, I decided to teach in UP, and since UP is a public institution, medyo mabagal sa papeles. So hopefully nagbabago yan ngayon. But at that time, 2000, mabagal ang papeles. So my salary was actually 6 months delayed. Right? So June, I started working, pasukan. And started work, and my yung department secretary just said to me na J3 pinaprocess pa yung papers mo, so wala ka pang sweldo. Parang okay, sige, may savings naman ako. And then sabi niya siguro next month dadating. But you know, dumating yung next month, wala. Dumating yung next month, wala. Dumating yung next month, wala. And so, you know, lumipas ang Pasko, hindi pa ako sumisweldo. And I was forced to think in that fire drill mindset for 6 months na, okay, nagtatrabaho ako, pero wala akong kinikita. How would I do this? So, it enabled me to see na in tough times, ano yung gagawin ko? And you know, at that time, kaya ako natutong magtipid ng todo, kaya ako natutong mag-survive lang on really basic stuff because of that challenge that life gave me. And so, you know, even if during the time na natanggap ko na yung sweldo ko, I was earning good money, I had a sort of anchor on ano ba talaga yung kailangan for me to survive. So, I know that when tough times come, I can survive. Walang problema. I know na ito yung baseline ko, ito yung ginawa ko, and that's what the challenge gives you. So, my challenge went on for 6 months. But, you know, I'm encouraging you to try it just for at least 3 days. Check it out. Pretend as if na okay, what would you do? And it's gonna establish your real survival spending. Okay? And from there, once you identify your real survival spending, you can see na, wow, ang laki ng excess cash flow. And pag makita mo yung excess cash flow na yon, and this is your amount na you can allocate for fun, for your comfort, for your personal milestone, for your growth fund, for your security, for your charities, and you're seeing it na, okay, this is nice, this is workable. So that's what the Fire Drill Challenge can do for you, and I really encourage it that you try it as you go through this, no? All right, so I'm gonna go back to the presentation now. Okay. Give it a try, okay? And, you know, try to bring your family into it para involved ang lahat, and you can see the real baseline. Now, let's go to step number 3. So, recap lang . Step number 1 is you decide on your buckets. Step number 2 is you determine your excess cash flow. And step number 3 is that you allocate and track your excess cash flow to your buckets. So, how do you do this? First thing is, number 1, have at least one additional bank account on top of your payroll account. So, preferably, one with online transfer. So that yung mga buckets mo, yung mga goals na pinagsiset aside mo, it will be in a different bank account. Now, anong gagawin mo dun sa bank account na yon? Every month or every time makakatanggap ka ng bonus or excess cash flow, you allocate it to your buckets. So let's say you receive 10,000 pesos na excess cash flow. How much would you allocate for your comfort? How much would you allocate for your milestone? How much would you allocate for your security, growth, and abundance? How much would you allocate for your travel fund, dream home fund, emergency fund, charity fund? So it's up to you how you can track it. So you can track it in an Excel file or a notebook. Now, if you track it in a notebook, here's how you do this. So you have one notebook and you have all the funds, you know, yung buong excess cash flow na yun, lalagay mo in a separate bank account. The amounts are tracked in a notebook. like below. So allow 3 pages per bucket or per goal. So let's say you have a goal of saving for your wedding fund. So you just put down there the date. Okay, I'm gonna mouse over. The date, the item, amount, net balance, and the notes. So let's say January 1, nag-allocate ka to your fund. Okay, this is your initial savings kunwari. Okay, so January 1, nag-allocate ka 50,000 pesos. So net balance, 50,000 pesos for your wedding fund. Now, February 1, nag-allocate ka ulit. So you just put it down there. February 1, allocation, amount, 5,000. So total, you already have 55,000. Now, February 14, let's say na gumastos ka from that goal. No, nag-deposit ka for your church reservations and that's 10,000 pesos. Kunwari lang. So, put it there, minus 10,000 pesos, 45,000 yung net balance. Now, March 1 ulit, it's your month, your time to allocate to your goals. Then, okay, lagay ka lang, March 1, allocation, 5,000 and bringing back the total to 50,000. Now, March 10, let's say nakatanggap ka ng bonus from your company and you decide from your bonus, okay, ang i-allocate ko dito, 12,000. So, just write it down there. Okay? So, that's how you track it in a notebook. So, later I'll take on questions, but in an Excel, and I highly recommend, no, if you have the capability to track it in Excel, do it on Excel. Now, here's what it would look like. So, the table to your left, sama-sama lahat ng allocation. Kasi it's just in one bank account naman eh. Para lang meron kang system for dividing all the excess cash flow that you have. So, let's say January 1, you allocate to these goals. You allocate for your wedding, for your travel, and for your comfort fund. And you just put the amounts there. Okay, February 1, you allocate the same thing. So, let's say excess cash flow mo is about 7,000 and you decide na, okay, wedding, 5,000, travel, 1,000, comfort, 1,000. Just put it down there. Okay? Then, let's say February 14, yun nga, nag-church deposit ka, minus 10,000. Let's say February 15, comfort, bumili ka ng shades, minus 1,300. And March 1, nag-allocate ka ulit, and so on and so forth. Okay? So, March 1, this is just for example, nag-allocate ka ulit for your wedding, pero since medyo sumobra yung gastos mo ng February, so you're gonna allocate just 2,500 for the wedding. Okay? Now, doing this in Excel allows you to track it automatically na nag-auto-compute na siya na this is the table you're seeing on the upper right naman. So, yung money jar totals, nakalagay dyan, bucket, wedding, travel, and comfort. So, makikita mo na easily, agad, kung okay, magkano na yung balance na na-save for your wedding? Magkano na yung na-save ko? Magkano yung target? And same thing for your travel. So, your travel, meron ng 2,000. And magkano na ipon? 2,000. Comfort, magkano yung balance? 700 kasi gumastos na. Magkano na yung total na naipon? 2,000. Okay? So, this allows you to track everything on your goals in a very, very simple way. Okay? So, if you can track it on Excel, go for it. If you want to use a notebook, then go for it. The point is you're tracking kung nasan ka na in each of your buckets. All right? So, let me know if you have any questions on the 3 steps for spending in advance, on the process. As to how you're gonna do this, let me know in the chat. I'm gonna bring back up the webcam. Okay, so let me know in the chat if you have any questions on that process. And I'm looking at the number of people here now, no? So we're now 70 in the room. Great. Ayos. Okay. If there are no questions, I'm gonna assume sort of na this is very clear, and I'm gonna move on to the next part, which is an example kung paano in-implement yan. There's still a bit of a delay, no, inside this new, because we are using a new software in delivering this program, and I'm not sure if if there are any questions. So guys, if there are no questions regarding this, please type it in the chat box also, so I know that I can proceed and that everything is clear, the concept is clear, and we're gonna go into the example. And I know I just want to make sure na, because I'm seeing a delay in the chat here. So from the time I say something, usually 15 seconds pa bago nyo matatanggap yun. Okay, so I just want to make sure na no questions before I proceed. So let me know if no questions, type it in the chat box. Okay, I see it. Yan. Ivy, no questions. Mayan, no questions. Chea, no questions. Okay, so Light. Okay, Light is asking about the 3-day fire drill, please. What's the purpose? Okay, Light. So the purpose of the 3-day fire drill challenge is that you discover your own survival spending. So, let's say this is your income, and currently, let's say na, okay, you're spending this on many things. Now, in your income, you could be spending on survival, comfort, security, personal milestone, growth, and so on and so forth. Now, the only actual thing na kailangan mo to survive is your survival spending. So that could be somewhere here or here or here. Hindi natin alam yan. But because of your habits and your day-to-day life, magkakasama na yan. Basta ginagastos mo siya. So you do the fire drill challenge na you're going to pretend for 3 days as if wala kang pera. As if na totally wala kang income. How would you survive? How would you go about it? Minimum spend ang itatry mong gawin. And you do this with you and your family. And para ma-discover mo ngayon yung ano ba talaga yung kailangan mo. Now, once you have identified kung ano yung survival spending mo, kita mo na ngayon kung ano yung excess cash flow mo. And itong excess cash flow na to, ito ngayon yung i-deploy natin to our goals na, okay, yan, for comfort. Okay, ito for personal milestone. Okay, ito for growth. Okay, ito for wedding. Ito okay for business. Ito for travel, ganun. Okay? So, that's why we do the 3-day fire drill challenge to help you identify the survival spending. Now, this is totally optional. Of course, you can just estimate it on paper. But if you feel na medyo magulo na, blurry na sa'yo kung ano ba talaga ang needs, ano ba talaga ang wants, do the fire drill challenge. All right? So, I think that's the I hope that answers your question, Light. And I see a question here from Marvin. Like CIGPF, may template din ba na bibigay sa Art of Guilt-Free Spending? Though I know we can make it ourselves. Okay, so Marvin is asking kung meron bang template na available. So yes, you can get the template from when you order the replay. I'm gonna add as a bonus na I'm gonna give you the templates actually that we use. Meron dun cash flow breakdown and implementation plan. And when you order the replay of this training, you're gonna get that as a bonus as well. So I showed the link earlier in this video. I'm not sure if you catched it, but yeah. So next is Ivan is saying, go ahead. Rosalie, no more questions. Okay, so perfect. Let's go to the example already. I'm gonna bring back my slides. So I'm gonna give you now a case study of a client that I worked with before. This was 2000, yeah, way before pa. As I was getting my registered financial planning sort of certificate. Okay, so let's talk about the Delphine household. And these are not their real names, but this is just a sort of case study kung paano nila in-implement yung art of guilt-free spending and how I helped them implement it. So here's the situation. The Delphine household is composed of Adrian, who is the breadwinner. He's a web freelancer. Marie is a housewife and wants to go into business. Marian is their 1-year-old daughter. Now, their income is purely variable from 20,000 to 10,000 pesos a month. Kasi nga, nasa web freelance design yung si Adrian. So, their average income for the past 6 months, again, it's fluctuating, pero yung average was about 55,000 pesos per month. Their monthly expenses at that time was 36,600 pesos. All right? So, next. the priorities or yung sort of buckets na na-identify ng mga Delphine is this. Number one, they wanted to secure Marian's education fund. And number two, they wanted to fund Marie start her part-time business. Now, it also came to my attention as I was doing their financial plan na, okay, they had 48,000 pesos in credit card and personal loans in debt. Okay, so the buckets that they wanted was number one, security fund for Marian's tuition, and number two, Marie's business, para may panggalaw siya in her business. Now, these two buckets were very, very good. Now, I recommended additional buckets. Mainly, number one, have a security bucket to stabilize Adrian's income. Okay, excuse me, had to cough. Okay, so I recommended the security bucket such that, kasi nga fluctuating yung income ni Adrian, such that kapag mababa yung income niya for a specific month, hindi niya kailangan umutang in credit card. Hindi niya kailangan mag-cash advance. He could just get from the security bucket. Now, the second thing I recommended was debt repayment para they get more excess cash flow in their funds kasi nagbabayad sila ng interest payments sa credit card. Okay? So, here's how it worked out. Their income again is highly variable, 22,000 up to 10,000, and average is 55K. Their income minus survival expenses equals their excess cash flow. So, ang survival expenses nila was at 36,600. So, yan na yung na-arrive namin na number na survival expenses. So, in any given month, dahil nga variable yung natatanggap nila, yung excess cash flow ranged from negative 14,600 to 63,400. Okay? Now, they used a flexible money management system that worked this way. Okay, so number one is you get Delphine's income. Next is the first 37,000 pesos will be set aside for survival expenses. Okay, now yung excess cash flow ngayon, Okay, so yung excess cash flow ngayon, mapupunta yan into two buckets. And we talked about this, I talked about this with them, and they felt na ito yung tamang breakdown ng excess cash flow. 40% would go to their comfort fund, and yun yung papang-enjoy nila, papang-relax nila, and 60% would go to their goals and priorities. So that would be their security fund, this would be their emergency fund, it would go to repay debts, and it would go to Marian's tuitions and Marie's business. Okay? So yung 60%. So let's pretend ngayon na, okay, let's pretend for this situation. Now, in a situation, kunwari, in a month na what do you call this? In a month na 55,000 ang kinita nila. So, from 55,000, 37,000, set aside agad yan. Okay, hindi na natin gagalawin yan. That's for our survival expenses. Excess cash flow would be 18,000. 40% nun, meaning 7,200 pesos. Okay, yun ang pang-enjoy nyo. That's your comfort fund. 60%, it would go to your goals and priorities. So, up to them kung paano nila gustong i-allocate yung 10,800. Now, in this specific example, my recommendation was, okay, sige, security fund, allocate 2,500 there muna. Repay your debts, 5,000 pesos. Then, the rest, kayo bahala how you would want to divide it. Marian's tuition and Marie's business. Okay? So, sila ngayon ang bahala mag-allocate dyan. Now, let's say, in another month, ayan. So, let's say, in another month, kinita lang nila is 35,000 pesos. So, the first 37,000 pesos, yun yung kailangan for survival expenses. Now, negative ngayon ang excess cash flow nila. What would happen? So, dahil nga negative yung excess cash flow, then walang funds for comfort. But, wala ring funds for goals and priorities. Now, since you've already set aside a security fund, ngayon mag-fill in yon. So, yung kulang na 2,000 pesos, kukunin from the security fund. Okay? So, that's how the system works. That's how the bucket allocation works. All right? So, if maganda ang kinita, then good. Meron yung mga delphins, they have a lot to spend for their excess cash flow. But if not, then okay, you get from your security fund to fund it. But understand na, okay, wala ka madadagdag to your comfort spending. All right? So, this works for a flexible income. Now, if you have a fixed income naman, then okay, if you have a fixed income naman, then you can work out a system like this for yourself also. Yung percentages, it's up to you how would you set it. And yung percentages also on how you allocate to your goals, this is something that you should be flexible about. Huwag mong pilitin yung sarili mo na every time excess cash flow, 50% to savings or 50% to comfort. Doesn't have to be that way. You can do it based on gut feel na, okay, at this time, I feel na, sabihin natin you have 5,000 pesos na excess cash flow from your salary. It's up to you to decide na, okay, sige, I feel like na from the 5,000, 4,000, dadagdag ko for this goal. Pero for this goal, 10,000. Then, 1,000. Then for the next month, it could be different na, okay, tig 2,525 lang yan. Okay? So, it's totally up to you. The best thing to do is to implement what's for you. Ano yung para sa'yo according to your lifestyle, your goals, and your circumstances. So, right now, do you have any questions on the Delphin case study? Let me know in the chat box. If you have no questions, then all right, no, then type it in also. No questions. Okay, I'm seeing light here. Great, thank you. Understood. Okay, happy to have helped out light. Next, Marvin. Yes, that's much easier. Okay, great. Jenny, no questions. Right, I'm gonna see a bit more. Maybe people are still digesting the system. I'm gonna bring that back up, no? Ayan. So this is para kita yung examples. Excuse me. No questions, Light. Okay, good. So everything is clear. Mm-hmm. Dapat pala no? Dapat pala I should have some music so if I'm waiting for questions wala tayong dead air. Tugs. All right. Marilyn is asking, no example for fixed income. So Marilyn, I have no specific example for fixed income. I decided to use the flexible income kasi it's up to you naman eh. So for example, what you're seeing now in this slide is we can actually pretend na kapag fixed income ka, ganito yung system kunwari. So let's say in this case, kunwari lang Delphine was earning 55K a month and ganun pa rin yung survival expenses niya, then this is how it would break down every month. Na you would earn 55, then first 37, set aside niya, 18K, excess cash flow, yan yung allocate, then yung excess cash flow breakdown, and so on and so forth. So, if you have a fixed income, then just do it this way. Na, numbers are fixed, hindi na nagbabago. All right? Now, a few things to note is that kapag mag-allocate ka na ng excess cash flow mo, you don't need to have a specific percentage every single time. Kasi you need to be flexible month to month what works for you. All right? So I hope that answers your question. And I'm seeing here from Ivan, Renato, Erica, everything clear. Okay, Claire, this is more doable. Great. Okay, awesome. So let's proceed to the next portion. All right. So we are now on number 3. Rule number 3 is to spend freely. Okay? When you've saved for it, this is the best thing to do. And I think you're gonna enjoy this rule very, very much. When you've saved for it, go spend it. Enjoy it. Kasi pinag-ipunan mo na yan. And it's okay to bring it down to the last centavo. Now, take note that this is also how big corporations do it. If you work in marketing or somewhere na na-assignan ka ng budget in your company, no? Kunwari binigyan ka ng marketing budget na 100K. Now, hindi mo naman, pagka binigyan ka ng budget na yon, the company wants you to spend that budget on marketing para ma-hit mo yung sales targets mo. Now, if sabihin natin na hit mo nga yung sales targets mo pero ginastos mo lang dun sa budget 50%, papagalitan ka nung company, di ba? Sasabihin sa kanya, dapat ginastos mo pa, baka na-doble mo yung sales target mo. And this is the same thing here. Once you have allocated for a specific fund, for a specific purpose, feel free to spend it when you want it. Dito na tatanggal yung guilt. Dito na tatanggal yung hesitation. Okay? Now, just to share with you guys, no? A few years back, we took a vacation sa Canada with my wife's family. Her brother lives there. And we had a budget there na pinag-ipunan namin for a few months. So, we were doing this system and consistently saving up for our trip to Canada. Now, pagdating sa trip to Canada, sige, gastos, walang problema. And during that time, no, as we were traveling, we were mindful of kung magkano na yung nagagastos. Not necessarily to limit ourselves, but more of, okay, tansyahin natin. Now, towards the last few days of our trip, napansin namin na meron pa kaming, parang kulang kami ng pag-enjoy sa budget namin. So, what did we do? Well, we bought a laptop na siguro a few $1,000 na parang, okay, sige, kumpletuhin natin yung fund, gastusin natin yung fund. Because, you know what, kaya natin pinag-ipunan yun eh. So, you know, wag mong tipirin yung sarili mo because you've worked hard for it. Okay? Now, I see a comment here saying na, Charmaine, I did that when I went to Japan. I didn't want to bring money home, so I spent every... Yes, that's how you do it. That's how you do guilt-free spending. Kapag may budget ka na, go for it. Okay? Now, take note, we use these 3 rules on spending na in this sequence. Number 1, we spend with purpose. Number 2, we spend in advance. And number 3, we spend freely. Hindi pwedeng diretso tayo sa number 3 na, okay, sige, spend freely agad. Of course, that doesn't happen. No? Let's be conscious about why we're spending and let's save up for it. Let's plan it out, whether that's for your comfort spending, growth spending, what do you call this, personal milestones. Just keep allocating to it. All right? So, webinar recap. We're towards the end already. Webinar recap. Number 1, spend with purpose. Think about, I hope you wrote down the questions there. Think about why you're spending and, you know, kung paano yung current distribution mo on survival, comfort, personal milestones, security, growth, and abundance. And think about why are you spending too much or too little on a specific thing? Then what would you like to change? Number 2 is we spend in advance. So we pick our buckets, ano yung important priorities, and then we allocate there on a month-to-month basis. And when you've saved up for it, then go ahead, spend freely. All right? Now, that's it for this webinar. Thank you very much for joining. And I would just like to ask, for those who joined from beginning to end, or if you joined late, what was the most valuable thing you learned in this webinar? So, this is the first time na I'm doing this, kaya I want to know kung ano yung pinaka nag-strike, ano yung pinaka nag-resonate, pinaka nakatulong sa inyo, so that I can keep improving it, and you know, as we teach more people about the art of guilt-free spending. Please let me know on what you found most valuable. Or you could also share what not necessarily questions, no, but just the feeling as you're learning this. Is it something that you feel you can apply immediately in your life? Is it something na may disconnect? Or if you feel na you're apprehensive to apply this, please also let me know on what are the things na you feel should be touched on more. Okay? So, I'm seeing a few answers here. Sabi ni Ivan, the purpose of that spending matters most. Okay? Good. Yep. Marilyn is saying learning the 3-day fire drill challenge. Okay, so I'm assuming Marilyn, you're gonna try the 3-day fire drill challenge. So yes, go for it. Try it out. Madaming matututunan from that experience. So D is saying understanding the why in spending is the most powerful point for me. Yes, definitely. Okay, awesome webinar, Miko. Thank you. Ange is saying it's okay to spend as long as you have a purpose or a why. Yes, definitely. It's a bad habit to keep denying ourselves na it's a bad habit na if you deny yourselves of what you want kasi you're getting smaller as a person pero if you expand yourself both in your comfort wants, in your growth, in your personal milestones, go for it. Okay, so Rhea is saying great lecture. Okay, great. Happy na it helped you. Charmaine is saying, to be honest, I only got here while you were talking about the case study. Yeah. Okay, so actually, if you see the case study, it sort of captures nga naman na yung buong art of guilt-free spending. So Mika is saying, spend with a purpose, not to focus on saving too much. Yup, go for it. Let's spend with purpose. Exactly, kung ano yung sinabi mo. Okay, the awareness in Light is saying the Excel file system. Yeah, go for it. If you can program it, well, not necessarily program. If you can set it up, if you're comfy in Excel, go for it. It's easy to do. If not, you can get the replay and I'll give you the template also that I'm using. Marilyn, awareness in spending. Okay. Risa is saying here the 7 functions of money and also the 5 C's: career, comfort, children, consideration, and charity. They're great for organization and budgeting. Oh yeah, I didn't touch on that. So yung 5 C's pala in Singapore was, the old 5 C's was condo, yung country club, mostly materialistic things. And people are starting to share now here na, okay, let's change the focus na for career, comfort, children, and consideration and charity na. Okay? Nika is saying, being more aware of purpose behind spending, not to hinder yourself, and so on. Okay, 3-day fire drill. I like it. Okay, what Jenny is saying, what I love about this approach is ang disiplina. Kasi in the end, you'll feel na hindi mo nabaliwala ang ibang bagay, but there's also a sense of achievement. Parang nagiging milestone na rin siya in itself. I love your comment, Jenny. Thank you for saying that. I'm happy that you said that na you yourself na being able to do this, being in control of your money can give you a self of fulfillment. Okay, Mayan is saying, developing the mindset of spending every bit of what we have saved. Yup. Mayan, I will keep this in mind while we plan for our wedding. Well, congratulations, Mayan pala, for the engagement, and I hope your wedding planning goes well. Enjoy it to the best bit. Right, biggest takeaway, don't deny myself of comfort. Just plan my spending as well as saving. Yup, Marvin, that was the intention of this training. Rosalyn is saying, thank you, J3, you the best. Okay, yeah, great. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Well, actually, if you want to hang out and I have a bit more materials, but here's the thing now. If you enjoyed this webinar and you want to download the replay, you can get these bonuses when you get the replay. So guilt-free spending implementation PDF. So I'll actually be creating a worksheet step by step kung paano i-implement yung guilt-free spending. Na break down how do you do the excess cash flow for fixed budgets, for flexible income, multiple income, etc. So kung paano siya gagawin step by step, guide questions. That's what the guilt-free spending implementation PDF is. Now, the second thing you'll get when you download the replay is the tracking Excel sheet. It's very easy to do naman if you're comfortable in Excel. But yeah, this is what we use every month to allocate to our goals. Now, the third thing you'll get is the movie cut replay of this training session. So we're going to have better visuals and a smoother learning experience. So in this training kasi meron tayong delay na meron mga may inom ako ng tubig, and things like that, no? So we're gonna produce a movie cut replay of this for a much smoother learning experience, and that's what you get when you download the replay. And of course, the exact replay here. To get access to this, just go to gameofwealthonline.com/GFS-replay. replay. And for being here tonight, I'm gonna give you a very, very special discount from 2,997. The replay is only 997. Okay, if you've already ordered your replay, then great job. And also to everyone who's here, great job. No, if you were here from 10 o'clock all the way to now, that's very, very wonderful. Up to you if you want to get the replay. This is totally optional. No, now this is available only until the webinar ends. So after the webinar, I'll be doing some more Q&A. And if you want to ask me more stuff, get to know the system in a in-depth manner, I'll be staying here for a few more minutes. And so if you're going to order the webinar online by credit card or online transfer, then you can do so until the webinar ends only. So go to that link and order there. The payments, if you're doing it offline or not by credit card, is until Tuesday, 12 midnight only to get that big discount. All right. So now let's go to the bonus training and Q&A. This is something na I wanted to do just as if kunwari nag-attend tayo ng live seminar in a big venue. So I'd be happy to answer any more questions you have about the system, and I can do a bit of Q&A on my personal implementation of the art of guilt-free spending. I mean, how I do it, how we do it in our household exactly. I think this would be beneficial because it's featuring a guy who likes to spend and save a lot. That's me, and my wife, who's a woman who enjoys shopping. So how we manage that dynamic, and featuring a two-income household because my wife is earning a fixed income, I'm earning a variable income. So how does that work out? Managing two households also because me and my wife, we're spending for us, and then we're also providing for my wife's dad in the Philippines. So two household then. May Philippine household, meron kaming Singapore household dito. And also the management of two currencies. And I'm sure na a lot of OFWs have questions about this. So if you do have questions about this, let me know. And if you're already happy with the training and you'd like to get the replay, then go for it. Good morning, and feel free to go. And if you have questions, stay on a bit, and I'll just be hanging out siguro for the next 15 minutes just to answer your questions. All right? I see Jenny. Great job, J3. Always very practical and doable. Yeah, thank you. I'm happy na nakatulong. Type down the replay link for anyone who wants it of wealthonline.com/gfs-replay. Okay, you can place your orders there for the replay. Okay, so do you have any questions, guys, on siguro if you're thinking about implementing it, let me know. You can try visualizing it now kung paano mo siya gagawin, ano kaya yung buckets. I can help with that. Okay, amazing. Okay. Wow, we're 70 people at the end, no? So bumabawas na siya ng konti. We're 64 live right now. I think I should play music, no? Para wala tayong wala tayong dead air. Oops, wait, baka may chat pala. Great webinar, Ange. Okay, yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining. I hope it helped. Thank you for spending this Saturday morning then with me. Gilemi, new ins on how to break down my income. Really something to ponder on. Okay, yeah. Go for it, Gilemi. Try out the system, and yeah, it's freeing siya talaga if you implement it. So just to share a bit of backstory. So when we got married, I implemented this system na sa amin ng wife ko, and my wife hates budgeting and accounting and yung tracking down ng bills payment kasi nga for her yung act of budgeting is already limiting yourself. So parang alam mo yun na Parang sige, puro bayad. It's a depressing thing. Now, when we implemented this in our system, yung art of guilt-free spending, so we developed na, okay, sige, ito yung excess cash flow, this is we allocate, chak, chak, chak. It became an exciting activity for her na, okay, sige, wow, ito yung savings natin for this month. O sige, ito yung lalagyan natin sa baby fund. Okay, ito yung lalagyan natin sa trip for a cruise fund. Okay, ito yung lalagyan natin sa security fund, healthcare fund, and so on. So it became an exciting activity. Okay, so go for it kasi talagang freeing experience siya. Okay, so Charmaine is asking, Charmaine is asking, hi J3, I noticed that this replay is on Game of Wealth instead of Pinoy Money Academy. Is the way to sync my two accounts between these two. Okay, so Charmaine, actually we're in the process of moving our online memberships. So Game of Wealth, dyan ay host yung most ng Game of Wealth and Money Management. We're moving away from Pinoy Money Academy for back-end admin purposes. So for those who are new here, Charmaine is actually one of our free VIP members. She's an owner of multiple of our products and winning the Game of Wealth. And I think Charmaine, you're a member of you got the Financial Abundance Bundle or the All Access Pass. Yeah. So she's talking about the systems, no? So I hope that answered that. Risa has a comment here. JT, I love the way you arrange your materials and how you conduct your seminar. I want to know if you'll have a webinar about teaching and earning from this kind of job. Sorry, unrelated, more on growth. Okay, it's no problem, Risa. So actually, I'm working with a few clients na one-on-one. I don't do webinars on this, but I work with people one-on-one on how to do this online business thing. I call it the Teach to Thrive business. Kasi basically I'm teaching, and my business is all about teaching and sharing what I know, and it gives me impact, influence, and income. So if you want to learn how to do that, Risa, send me an email. I could give you a free breakthrough coaching session on internet business. Just send me an email at j3@pinoymoneyacademy.com so we can discuss it there. All right. So let's see others. Mark, mahusay, and thank you. Marlon, okay, excited to try it out. Yeah, I'm excited for you, Erica. Try it out. So Miko, he has a question. I have a question. So recently I bought a small parcel of land which cost me almost all my savings including investment. So basically almost exhausted na ang funds ko. Maasa na lang ako to my monthly income, and I have a plan to spend something on my birthday and my girlfriend duties. Any advisor? Okay, so Miko, exhausted savings. Excuse me. Okay, so exhausted savings, and you have plans on spending on my birthday and girlfriend duties. Okay, so my advice for you is that get clear on your purpose. So we go back to number one in guilt-free spending, no? Birthday and girlfriend duties. Get clear on your purpose, on what you would want to do, and think about how that relates to the other functions of money. And based on that, ganun ka mag-allocate ngayon ng excess cash flow. So at the startup session is really hard. If this is the first time na you're gonna save, kasi syempre all your buckets will be at zero na sa simula lahat yan zero, walang laman, then ganun talaga. But later on, as you try this out, what do you call that? As you add to your funds, it becomes more exciting and more exciting na, okay, from 1,000, nagiging 10,000, nagiging 15,000, nagiging 20,000, and so on and so forth. So, ganun lang talaga siya. Be decisive on your buckets, then keep adding to them. All right? One of the things, that was early, I applied this kasi, siguro way back 5 years ago. 5 ba? No. More, siguro 7 years ago, no? So, at that time, yung comfort fund kasi, I had a girlfriend bucket. So, ito yung time na todo tipid for dates lang, no? I had a comfort bucket, And yung comfort bucket na yun, it's for girlfriend fund. So we use that for dates and pagka stay home naman, then walang nagagastos. So naipon lang yung comfort fund. So one of the things that I did for my girlfriend on her birthday was, kasi meron ng 10K dun sa comfort fund. So I gave her a treat for a shopping spree na, okay, sige, may comfort fund dyan, 10K, walang ginagawa. So I didn't reallocate it to my growth, no? Kasi I was conscious na I'm already spending for my growth. Purpose nito is girlfriend fund. So sige, sabi ko sa kanya na let's go on a shopping spree. So sabi ko sa kanya, meron akong budget and just shop. And I would just say kapag malapit ka nang matapos, malapit na ma-consume yun. So it was a very fun afternoon, no, na sige lang, she was trying out different outfits, buying, ganyan. But yeah, that's the kind of feeling that you get from implementing this. So try it out. If malapit na yung birthday ng girlfriend mo, Miko, baka, of course, mas ano, but siguro next year or the year after that, gonna be more fun. The longer you follow this system, mas rewarding talaga siya. Okay, Risa, I'm interested, of course. Thank you. So yeah, just send me an email, just for me to remember, no, na you're that person. Send me an email at j3@pinoymoneyacademy.com. Right? What else? Guys, we're still 50 in the room, 54 in the room. Just hanging out. Okay, so Jenny has a question. I'm a grad student abroad, and since you mentioned it, how do you deal with 2 household and 2 currencies? Okay, so this is how you do it, no? So we have the system of yun nga, income, excess cash flow, then allocate. Since we have 2 currencies, we also have 2 plans. Or may 2 households tayo, we have 2 plans. So first is our household, meaning me and my wife. How we do it is that, okay, meron kaming buckets. Now, meron din kaming household sa Philippines, which is for my wife's family. Now, we also did a breakdown of him sa excess cash flow. Now, since kami yung nag-provide there, we understood the financials na naintindihan namin na, okay, this is the income in the Philippines and these are the expenses, these are the medical bills, these are the trips to the province, and so on and so forth. So, naintindihan namin yung cash flow din doon. And we have separate buckets for the Philippines na entirely different because our main savings is in Singapore dollars. Pero meron kaming security fund and meron kaming tawag na sure expenses fund sa Philippines. So yung sure expenses fund na to, I think, let's say, comfort na when my wife's dad, when daddy considers na, okay, pupunta siya sa Bataan, we get from that fund. Now, hindi immediately available yung fund na yon on the regular na allowance, sort of. But if may malaman na trip or may birthday, may inuman sila, then we get from that fund. Or kapag kunwari, magbabayad na ng rent sa bahay, yung rent kasi sa Philippines, we pay in 6 months. So, ganon. Dun kinukuha sa fund na yun, naka-allocate siya sa sure expenses fund. So, pagka may 2 households ka, you just do the same thing. You apply the same principles. Huwag mo silang papaghaluin as much as possible. Okay? Para segmented siya. Okay? Where is this? I hope that answered your question, Jenny, no? Okay, Light is asking, ask ko lang about the things including in purchasing the replay. Okay, so what do you get from the replay? Number 1 is the exact replay here. You get it immediately. The next thing is that we'll be working on a movie cut of this replay, meaning yung mga dead air, yung mga delays, tatanggalin natin, and we're gonna add better visuals. If you go to Pinoy Money Academy, the YouTube channel, no, you can see that our visuals are really, yung may engage ka, entertaining. So we're gonna do that for here in this replay. It's gonna be a cleaner voice audio. Tatanggalin yung mga ubo, excuse me, and things like that. So you get a smoother learning experience if you want to learn, review the things you've learned here. Now, second thing is you're gonna get a PDF implementation plan of the guilt-free spending. So step by step, I'll walk you through text in this guide kung paano siya implement. How do you decide on your buckets? How do you get clear on your purpose? And so on and so forth. Okay. Now, the third thing you'll get is the Excel template for the allocations and tracking. Okay, kasama na dyan yung how we track our cash flow, how we track our goals. Okay, so both for PH and here in SG, and I'm gonna make the template so that it's easily customizable for your needs. Then, okay. So next, I hope that answered your question. So Marvin is saying guilt-free spending di pa clickable sa financial abundance bundle. Yeah, Marvin, I'll add that to the link later. No, so kapag tapos na namin yung movie cut and yung other materials, yeah, we'll make it clickable already there. Sorry for the delay, no? Next, Miko, awesome. GF Bucket Fund. I will try that out. I think your girlfriend will like that also. Pero better na in secret mong yan yun. Para, surprise. So, actually, Miko, yung GF Fund, yung parang from GF Fund, nag-transform siya into wedding ring fund, tas nag-transform siya into a wedding fund, and ganon. So, moves forward then. You can adjust as you need it. Okay? Guys, we're still 58 here in the room. Just want to hang. No. Great. Thanks, Jenny. Okay. So, if there aren't any questions already, I'll be ending this webinar shortly, maybe in a few minutes. Give slots for last question. Just chilling, Charmaine. Okay. I was awake until 12 kagabi, finalizing stuff here on the webinar, and I'm really happy na nakatulong siya and you're excited about it. Oh yeah, wait, but before we go to story time, just another tip as you implement this. So I hope you really took down notes, number one. As you implement this, there are things na baka as you implement, you have questions about it. So get back to your notes kasi baka lang may nasabi ako na nakalimutan or yung lumusot lang because it was not yet important as we were discussing here. But as you implement it, there are things that you might want to go back to, check in on. So yeah, just get back to your notes on there. Okay, Janine, Nin here. If you were to choose, which is better, mutual funds or stocks? Thanks. Well, Janine, this is for a separate topic, no? But since we're chilling, let's answer that question. They're technically the same thing naman. Depends on your goal. Again, depends on your purpose. We don't just invest just because na mag-i-invest dahil lang maganda, dahil lahat ng ibang tao nag-i-invest yun. But personally, I'm invested in mutual funds and in stocks. Okay, so just as a quick difference, no? Mutual fund, it's just a medium. So mutual fund, you could have an equity mutual fund, you could have a bond mutual fund, you could have a money market mutual fund, and yung equity mutual fund, yun yung fund na nag-invest in stocks. So that sort of thing, depende sa'yo kung ano yung pipiliin mo eh. So I have a training called, if you're interested in investing, I have a training called Winning the Game of Wealth, where I talk about all the investments. You can just type that on Google to search for it. Or there's also training specifically for investments naman, na yung Comprehensive Investing Guide to Philippine Funds. Dun ko na rin-rate lahat ng mutual funds in the Philippines. If you want to maximize your mutual fund investments, you can also search for that in Google. May lalabas naman dun. Okay? Marvin is saying, you buy CIGPF. Yeah. Essentially yun. but yeah, that's the training. But Janine, if it's the first time na you're seeing me train live, if it's the first time na you're encountering personal finance training, my recommendation, not yet yung CIGPF, but Winning the Game of Wealth or Game of Wealth online seminar. I think that's the best selling and most life changing training talaga and na training. Yeah. Okay, Marilyn is saying, what can you say about IMG? They drop your name. Yeah, it's okay. IMG is a wonderful organization, and they're what IMG is doing actually is that they are what do you call this? So IMG is a broker essentially na merong network marketing structure. Now, network marketing in my belief is just a distribution system. It's a type of business. So they teach you personal finance, and if you need investment products, you get it from them. So I'm happy that IMG is mentioning my name. No? They're a great institution to learn financially, and if you want to be a broker, then if on spreading financial literacy and selling investments and insurance and health plans and so on and so forth, yeah, it's a great it's a great company. Okay, Janine, note it down. Okay, so I think I'm going to have lunch now, guys. Hopefully kayo rin. Baka kumakain nga kayo as you're watching now. So I'm getting a bit hungry then. So I'm gonna end the webinar now. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. And more than that, let me know once you've implemented this. Try it out because I'd love to know your results then as you try it out. This is the first time I'm teaching it, so I'm happy na there's more than happy. It's more than 50 people here, 70 people during our peak that tuned in to this webinar. So please let me know your results. Even if it's a year from now, 2 years from now, how did it change you? Because I've been using it for 7 years plus already. So I'm excited na it's in new hands now. And I hope you can share it to your friends or when you get results, share to me the results at j3 at pinoymoneyacademy.com. And yeah, that's it. Okay, Marlon is asking, requesting for next webinar, how to have passive income and how to lessen the risk. Okay, considered. Okay, so guys, thank you everyone for joining, and that's it. Happy weekend. Bye. Ay, wait. Ang tagline ko pala dito is happy spending. Okay. Bye guys. Thank you for joining.